Hello everybody, I'm into Creeper1, and today we're trying to have a different video. So it's just me talking again, but like this time I'm not recording while doing it, so maybe it'll sound a bit better. So yeah. Anyway, today we got a really good story. I believe the true metric for success in life is not who is the richest, who is the most powerful, who died the happiest even. No, I think the true metric for success in life is how many good stories do you have. And boy, this is a story. This is a story. Okay. This is probably one of my greatest moments. Yeah, God, I can't even like begin to get into this. So, what happened? What happened? So, I was home alone. My parents were somewhere else, and so was my brother. So, I was home alone. Now, I was doing what any normal person would do when they were home alone, and that is turn on the speaker and listen to classical music at max volume. I do this quite a lot. Anyway, so I was listening to music, and I was listening to a metallic version, which is actually the song you should hear in the background if I edit this correctly. Um, Metal version of the Can Can. Yeah, that's right, a metallic version of a Can. So I was listening to this. It'll be in the description, by the way. Anyway, God, it was such a good song. I was just really excited for it. So anyway, I decided like sometimes what I do when I'm like just really happy or excited, like usually when I go outside and blow my war horn. I also own a war horn, by the way. There's actually an entire story behind this war horn. Basically, I don't remember. We were camping somewhere, and there was like a fort, an old war fort or something. There were a bunch of reenactors and stuff from the war in 1812. I don't know why they were doing the fucking War of 1812. It's up there with the wars that nobody cares about the War of 1812. The War of 1812 was completely useless. There were some reenactors there. It was pretty cool. Anyway, I'd already spent most of my money buying some stuff like maple syrup from Maple Syrup Man. There were a lot of powder horns around, but I've always wanted a war horn. War horns are always cool to me. But they were all powder horns. Eventually I found this one tent. It was entirely horns. War horns, powder horns, decorational horns, drinking horns. Apparently this one guy, like, his job, it might not have been his job, it might have just been a hobby, but basically, he just goes around to all these, all these reenactment, Renaissance fairs, all of that stuff, and just sells horns. Anyway, so, like, I was asking him, oh, how much is this horn? Oh, it's $60. I have, $30 left over. He's like, I can't, I really want it, but I can't afford it. He's like, you know what, no. I see in you somebody who is going to use this war horn. Somebody who will appreciate it for what it is. I've always wanted one of these when I was a kid. I never got one. And now that I'm adult, I can appreciate them, but I never once would have used them as when I was a child. I will bestow upon you this war horn. Here you go. And he fucking gave me that war horn. I don't know your name, Mr. Warhorn Man. But if you sold horns at some kind of War of 1812 thing, I might be talking about you. And I hope this story makes you proud. Okay, so yeah, I went outside and started to blow my war horn. I've gotten pretty good at blowing the war horn. I'd actually been unable to do it, but then I've kind of forgotten as of late, so I need to start getting back into it. So, something you should know about my house is I do not live in the suburbs, as evident by my blowing of a war horn and blaring classical music at full volume. I live in a house in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. Now, the thing is, I have a very long driveway. It's like a mile long. And most of it's downhill, and most of it's also just kind of straight. So I can see the actual road. And there were lights on my driveway. So, the thing was, these weren't my parents' lights, these weren't my brother's lights, these were our cars, like, they all have, like, white lights, I think. This was orange lights, plus lights on top of it, too. Like, there's, like, one row of lights on, like, the grill area, and then there's, like, lights on top of the windshield. So this wasn't any car I knew. Also, it was 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, it was 8 p.m. So, no normal person should be driving up our driveway at 8 p.m. I thought, maybe they'll just turn around. Because that's what people do. They drive up, realize they made a wrong turn, and turn around their driveway. That was not happening. They kept driving. And driving. This was not good. A car that I did not recognize was heading up my driveway at 8 p.m. So I immediately stopped and called my father. He did not pick up. This was, what do they call it? Very bad. So now, I was not thinking entirely rationally. Now, they say, like, you got the flight or flight response. My instincts went into fucking fight mode. I went into what can only be called a metallic version of the Can-Can fueled battle rage. I stormed inside, screamed at my dog, "Battle stations!" Gathered my war horn, found my metal walking stick, found my bow and arrow, and a really bright flashlight. So, the way my house is structured, I've got this, like, nice little large deck porch which overlooks my driveway. Now, as soon as I got all of my stuff, the car was almost up the driveway. Burst outside with the metallic version of a Can-Can at full volume, okay? And did several large blasts of my war horn. And thanks to the way where I live is structured, those war horn blasts will echo all across the valley. You can hear them for, like, miles. The car came to a stop, and and somebody got out, and I just screamed, "Identify yourself!" UPS, sir. Oh. It's awfully late. Yeah. It's the Christmas season. We need to be working a bit later. Oh. I promptly ran inside and went into a slight state of mental insanity due to adrenaline withdrawal. Make sure to like and subscribe.